Hey guys, Matt here with Hollywood's Garage, coming up with a mod, I guess, for the Superduty, uh, which I'm a big fan of for any vehicle, let alone diesels, gas engines, is to not have your crankcase vented into your intake. As we all know, oil passes the rings, goes into the crankcase, comes with the crankcase vent, and then back into the intake. They just recirculate. That's how they've been since the 70s or 80s. So, but on my race car, which is being used as a workbench, I have a catch can set up, which that's how you know how much oil you're bypassing or could go into your intake. And then for the Ford, I ended up getting a crankcase vent. So with this vent, I can put a catch can on it later, set it up that way, but for now this can just free vent to air. You bring the hose down the side of the rail, down by the tire, and it vents there. So the kit I bought is a Smeding diesel kit. Get a little cozy. But here is the piece de la creme. It's a nice unit. It comes with the fittings, everything you need. It'll come with a new O-ring, the side fitting, which will have I guess another vent line on the side, and you have your dash 12 or dash 14 fitting for your main vent line. Bag of goodies, O-rings and all that, and then your hose, which will be long enough to go down by and then you can actually see how much bypassing you have too, instead of taking the oil cap off. So here, let's take this cap off here. Let's see what's inside. Ooh, that's a nice piece. Only downfall is now to fill your oil, it'll be a little more of a reach, right? Because you get rid of that canister that you would normally put it in. But let's do an install of that. First thing first is to remove the top of the air box. Might as well get this out of the way just for ease, because you'll have to end up plugging this vent off here that comes off your catch can. It doesn't come with a plug. I think they're thinking you're going to have your own cold air intake setup, or using one of theirs off, one of their turbo kits. I'm still running the stock factory twin turbo set for now, so we can just shove something in there though, or even into here, or with the hose or something, plug it off so it doesn't suck in unmetered air or anything like that, or just dirty air. Okay, so off, unplug, and hose clamp, There you go, lots of room now. So you're gonna have these 4 bolts here, 2 per side, and I'll clean that dirt off there, see what kind of fitting that. Oh, it's like a hose clamp, and it looks like the hose clamp fell off. There's a hose clamp sitting right here. So that should just pop off. And in all theory, this pops right off. Let me get those 4 bolts out and that hose disconnected, and we'll see what it looks like. Got it out. The 4 bolts were easy. What size were they? They were 8 mils. Once you cracked them, came out by hand, super easy. So yeah, that hose is just a barb fitting. Make sure you put the clamp back on. I don't know why mine was off. Someone obviously had it off. And yeah, there's your canister. That's where it goes. The new one, and the old one. So we'll clean it up a little bit with the mating surface anyway. Let's get the new one set up. Use the O-ring out of the old one instead of getting a new one. So you're supposed to be an O-ring on the bottom here. Doesn't come with a new one, which is surprising. You think it would. And it's not in the box. Comes with new mounting bolts though. And then the thread for the little hose. I might just throw a little bit of thread tape on there anyway. So if you ever use this stuff, there's kind of a secret to use it. Once I find the end of it, that's the secret, I guess. I keep thinking that hair. There it is. you want to have it so that way when you screw it back into its the hole, that it tightens. Actually, that's the wrong way. So grab it with your right hand, even though I'm right-handed, so it makes it weird. Just do a couple loops. Nice little tight on it. And then just with your thumb pull it. See, now when you go to tighten it in, it won't take the pipe thread with it. You get to see me use the best tool, the crescent. Well, I don't know if the best tool, but she's pretty handy. Okay, tight is tight. So we'll grab the O-ring out of the old one, I guess, which sucks. And then I think I'll use the old bolts, to be honest. I'd rather, I don't like Allen key heads. Well, I guess they're in there once and they stay in there. Depends if the other ones have washers or not. It does have an O-ring for the orb fitting though. And like it comes with a nice, well, it's kind of cheapy to be honest. Evil Energy off of Amazon's a little better quality than what this looks to be. Just aluminum it looks like. Any hoozle. Okay, we're gonna actually set up the this fitting on here first. It makes more sense. So this is what you call an orb fitting. Put a little lube on your O-ring if you can, or if you want, or whatever you want to do. It just goes on like that. This goes into the... With AN fittings, you don't put thread tape on them. That's what the O-ring is for. It doesn't have to be super tight, but tight enough. I don't know if I have a wrench big enough right now. Of course not. Don't do what I'm doing. Get a proper wrench. There, we'll call that good. Just gonna squish that O-ring a lot, so okay, now we're good. I might loosen it up a bit. Just so the point is up top, either flat or point. Anyway, we'll go with that. The only issue is gonna be now is getting the screws in because of this fitting. So now that I just noticed that. Yeah, see, you gotta put that fitting on last. This is the factory bolt, obviously, but well, never mind. If you use the bolts hardware it came with, you don't get much for threads though. You use the old gasket. It's not an O-ring, it's one of those gaskets that Ford likes using. Fits right in there. It still you know, stands out. It's not indented, so it'll work as a gasket. So you have to use the new hardware. The heads on top of the old ones have that kind of washer on it, and it won't go in. It'll just sit on top, which is, I guess, okay, but there's not much overhang, so we'll go use the new hardware. Got it all snugged up, got that fitting on, slid it on, got the clamp back on it, put the orb fitting back in. Oh man, the shine off that, bling bling. So now we'll get the fitting with the hose on it. Right here. You can either slide the hose on prior or after. I'll probably do it prior and just thread this on. Nice pliable hose, slides right on easily. Got it on there. Ended up breaking down and finding my wrench. 1.25 inches. Slide right over that, be able to tighten it up. So that'll kink in the hose. You don't really want that, You want a free-flowing hose, but I'm gonna find where I want to zip tie underneath there, kind of up out of the way of the tire and whatnot. And maybe if I push it back, it'll get rid of that kink. So there we go, just a slight kink in the hose now, not a big deal. Have it routed down to there. I have it tucked behind the splash guard there. Man, you can cut this to where you want it to, but I'm gonna be putting and there's the end of it there, just double zip tied. I'm gonna end up putting a catch can on here somewhere. You can buy like the expensive one for like $300-400 that kind of mounts it on this frame rail. I'm just gonna buy a cheaper one off Amazon. Put it down here, make my own mount, set it up. You know, $100 is better than spending $300-400. So, yeah. Overall, it's a nice fit, nice kit. A couple tools needed, nothing crazy. Looks like I got a bit of an oil leak down there, got a valve cover gasket leak. Anywho, love seeing that later on, but okay, put everything back together, the intake and all that, and fire it up and see how it goes. I'm not gonna fire mine up as mine's still doing some work inside the interior. Got the dash ripped out of it right now doing the heater core. So I just did this one killing time, waiting for parts. Like, subscribe, follow along. I'll be working on this truck pretty much all winter. Want to make it, you know, road worthy and safe and whatnot. It's got 290,000 kilometers on it, so she's been ridden hard. Well, I don't know about ridden hard, but she's been driven. So yeah, we're gonna keep plugging away at it, working on it. And there's just thought I'd put something shiny on it to help with it instead of just keep throwing parts at it to fix things that are wrong with it. So hopefully that keeps the oil out of the crankcase, or sorry, out of the intake. All right, guys, have a good one.